Welcome back to Star Wars Nerds Unite, a discussion and review podcast focused on the Star Wars canon. I'm your host, Tim vanautreve. Joining me as always are other hosts, Josh, no meaning behind this, the Tosh, Mason.
Hi.
And Jennifer. Hi.
Hi.
Jennifer, hi.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thanks for tuning in on your TuneIn app or
Your app of choice.
Or
web browser.
Or web browser. Or Spotify. A lot of people listen on Spotify.
But isn't that an app of choice?
It's debatable. Today we're going to be discussing another episode of Star Wars Rebels. Hashtag Rebels block.
So close to not being done.
Yeah, I know. There's like a million episodes left. I feel like this is all we ever talk about.
I think that there's only 4 that we haven't watched yet.
1, 2. So this one is 15. There's 22 for the full season. So we have 6 more left after this one.
Maybe we should just do all of them tonight.
We haven't watched
like the last.
We have 4 at least.
Yeah.
This is we're doing Trials of the Darksaber, featuring Sabine and her new black lightsaber.
It's the Darksaber. It's not a black lightsaber.
It's a black lightsaber. Looks like a katana. This is episode, 13, do we decide? 14?
We're not saying the episode.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you think it's silly.
It is silly.
We got a ton of emails after the last episode. Did you notice?
I saw quite a few.
We got, I think 2 from new listeners.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I was going to respond to one of them, but I haven't responded yet.
Well, now they'll get to hear it.
Maybe if we get to it.
I don't think we will necessarily get to them all.
Okay. Ooh, she's giving me the blank. Okay, who's going to synopsize this for us? Jennifer?
You are.
Okay.
Wow.
This one...
you never do the synopsis.
I have done synopsi the last few times, as a matter of fact. You guys just always tell me how terrible I am at it and correct me halfway through.
Give it a shot.
This one features Sabine, mostly. So, Kanan shows Finn Rao, the Mandalorian bounty hunter that the rebels have
I don't think he's a bounty hunter. He's a protector of Concord Dawn.
He's not a bounty hunter.
He's a Mandalorian.
Right.
So
but he's not Death Watch.
So he shows him the Darksaber, tells him Sabine found it on Dathomir with Maul, and Finn Rao says, "Oh, she could unite the Mandalorian people behind that thing. She could lead a whole army." And so they tell the rest of the rebels that, and they get a big idea that that's the thing to do
because they need troops.
Yeah, totally.
So they're still plotting. The whole seeds of this season have been steadily advancing towards the factory on Lothal.
Is that really all they're doing?
I'm saying that's what the seeds have been sown for.
Ugh. Okay.
That you don't see all the missions where they're figuring out what really for the TIE Defender, as we've learned at this point, right?
Yeah, it just seems kind of weak.
Whatever. They want to lift the siege of Lothal.
All right. Fair enough. So Sabine's like, "Oh, I don't want to." And then she's like, "All right, I will."
Yeah.
It took her a really long time to decide she would. She was pretty anti using the Darksaber at first.
And then, is this the one where they start training?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they start training, and Kanan has her and trains her up, and they go back and forth, and Kanan's a bad teacher, and Sabine's a bad student.
They go to where the BenView lives.
Right.
Sometimes.
And Kanan has Ezra training her for quite a bit.
With sticks.
Yeah. Instead of a real saber, because he doesn't trust her.
Because she's not ready yet.
Right. Well, she's not. That's it. Eventually she gets it, and then suddenly she knows how to fight with it.
Well, there was personal growth.
I forgot why you don't do the synopsis.
Yeah. See? Don't let me do it.
She didn't want to try to unite all the different clans because she felt like
her family had abandoned her.
Had cast her out She didn't think they would listen to her. And she kind of just didn't even want to face her family because of how awful she felt about the whole thing.
Do you remember why she feels awful?
Because she had been working for the Empire, but when she found out that I think they were creating explosives or something to use on her people, she ran from the Empire. But then her family took that as an insult to their family name, so they kind of turned their back on her and sided with the Empire. And she was just trying to save her people the whole time.
And no one knows.
We do now.
We do.
Yeah.
But characters don't.
And it was interesting because this is like in the beginning of the show, Ezra was just this dumb kid and she was always, I don't know, more experienced at everything than him. And now he's teaching her and she's getting really frustrated because she thinks she knows how to fight and she knows how to use weapons, but this is just something she's completely uncomfortable with. And she's just not really letting herself be vulnerable enough to learn it in the beginning.
I think she is also resentful / jealous because Kanan and Ezra have the Force. She doesn't.
Yeah.
So she thinks that that's holding her back too.
Well, yeah. Because automatically you think of Force user has to use a lightsaber, which seems like it would be much safer that way.
But the big revelation is that she does better when they take off the kid gloves. It's got, sorry people.
It's got a hair trigger. Leia's got a hair trigger.
So I didn't know what the Darksaber was when they first
We talked about it a couple
it.
episodes ago.
Yeah, she just said when they first grabbed it.
In this episode, Finn Rao does the whole backstory.
Yeah, there's a really cool. It kind of looked
montage.
like Japanese anime sort of moving cave paintings, kind of shadows. It was cool.
So I'm going to read this. It says, according to legend, this is the Darksaber they're talking about.
We literally read this 4 episodes ago.
It's fine.
I don't think you did. It was created 1,000 years ago by Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian to be inducted into the Jedi Order. After his passing, the Jedi kept the Darksaber at the temple until members of House Vizsla snuck in and stole it. They then used the Darksaber to unify the people of Mandalore and to strike down those who opposed them.
And then Maul stole it, and he he took over Mandalore. And then ever since then, they haven't seen it. So Clan Vizsla wielded it for 1,000, not really 1,000 years, hundreds of years.
There you have it.
When you make it through to season 3 of Clone Wars, you'll see it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's all over Clone Wars.
I don't think it's season 3. I think I'm on season 4, and I haven't seen it yet.
Whenever it comes in, it's for the whole rest of the show.
Oh.
I don't remember the exact season when it comes in.
Okay.
Have you met Savage yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it just Savage was just born? Has he found Maul yet?
Yeah.
So soon, because they both go to Mandalore.
Soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else happened in this?
By the end, she's
crushing
it.
She
starts using her Mandalorian tricks as well.
Yeah,
but in the beginning, Kanan gives her a really hard time about that because Finn Rao gives her these
they're bracer
wristlet things, I don't know what they're called, but
bracers, gauntlets.
Yeah, they look like gauntlets, but they shoot or do something.
Electric shock. There's one that had the lasso thing.
And she was using that while she was using the Darksaber, but Kanan flipped out on her and told her
she got to be a purist.
those tricks aren't gonna help her in the end. And
yeah, but that's who she is.
Right. And so Finn Rao convinces Kanan that it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay to adapt.
Finn Rao has evolved from villain,
prisoner
to trusted advisor.
Right. And we didn't really see that.
He's got that, what's it called when you start to bond with your kidnappers?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, he's got that.
He doesn't. The thing is, he was always on their side. Like, he's
Not in the beginning.
pro-Empire. He's not pro-Empire.
Yeah, but he wasn't pro-rebels.
He just didn't know who they were.
That's how I feel about anybody that doesn't like me. They just don't know who I am.
Probably. That's true for like every interpersonal relationship.
I don't think so.
I think
There's
so.
a lot of people I know.
You know,
I hate.
Hitler had friends, right?
So
I mean, somebody found some shred of interesting goodness.
But that doesn't. You're saying that everybody that just got to know Hitler would like
if you
him.
could spend a weekend with Hitler out in a vacuum
oh my gosh, don't
before the Holocaust happened, you'd probably be friends with them.
You're going down a spot we should not go. Oh my gosh. Oh, for the record, we are not. We are not.
What? We're not what?
We're not friends.
Well, you
We're not friends
weren't
with
alive
We're
when
not
he was
friends with
alive.
Hitler. Oh, boy.
Some people are unfriendable.
It's true.
What makes somebody unfriendable?
Their personality sucks.
What about their personality?
They argue constantly with everything people say.
Doesn't Nolan argue with everything you say?
He doesn't have very many friends either.
He's got you.
And he
Nolan
admits
is our
it.
15-year-old
And he'll be like, I'll like try to convince him to like do stuff with with other people or make new friends. And he'll like finally this year, like I've been trying to make him do that his whole life. Finally this year, he's come to the conclusion and actually verbalized something. And he says, the problem is I just don't like a lot of people, Mom.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't want to hang out with a lot of people, so that's why he doesn't have a lot of friends.
He doesn't want
I'm
to
like-
like people because he's afraid.
No,
think
he's like a lot of people
it's 'cause
just
his
get
mama
on his
taught him that.
nerves. A lot of people just bug him, and he's like, I just don't want to be around people like that. They annoy me. So I'm like,
He's gonna
okay,
have
fine.
to.
You can't complain about being bored
Is he
then.
gonna be like a woodcutter out in the forest?
He gets along with people fine, but like if he has
That'd
the
be
choice of
That'd be
like
kind of a cool job.
I wouldn't.
a woodcutter, you mean like a lumberjack?
No, a woodcutter. One who cuts wood.
I wish I
What
could.
is a lumberjack?
I wish my
cut?
job
A
was
lumberjack cuts
just
down trees.
improving my home. I want to win the lotto just so that I can like work on my home. Stay home and just make home improvements.
Yeah, well, win the lotto is the first crucial step in that process.
Yeah. Or I just need a sugar mama.
Yeah.
Right, Mom?
How's that education going?
How's your doctorate going?
2 years down.
When do you graduate?
2020.
2020.
I know.
That's brutal.
I have one more year of online only, and then I'm basically
to
breaking
go-
it into a new program in my head. I'll start like clinicals next summer. So I'm kind of thinking next summer I'm done with the online portion, so I'm going to pretend like that's one whole program.
You got
done.
your mini doctorate.
Yep.
Now to get your big kid doctorate.
I originally started out in a master's program, and if I stayed in that, I would only have a year left and I'd be completely done.
So 2020, like into 2020, fall 2020 or spring?
May.
Not
2020?
May. I only have one semester in 2020. So,
Don't semesters get over it, May?
There's semesters that are usually-
you
they're
know,
not
I have
semesters, they're like
trimesters.
trimesters.
Yeah.
You have one trimester.
So I don't get any break either.
Yeah.
Ugh. Stressing me out.
Why? Just imagine.
I try to block all this out all the time.
I'll be able to call you a doctor.
I won't call you a doctor.
I'll say, doctor, what's wrong with me? And you'll say, stop being such a wuss,
Yeah.
you wimp.
I told my kids they
Some
have to
dirt
call
on
me
it.
Dr. Mom.
Dr. Mom?
They don't like that idea.
I think
Like,
that's-
remember those old commercials
Oh, yeah.
with like the Robitussin or whatever?
Yep.
That's so stupid.
We need to rate the episode if we have nothing else to say about it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go 8.
9.
I liked the episode a lot. I liked that they moved the character forward. I thought the episode was short, but a ton happened.
It was the same time as every
It
episode.
felt short because it was only like one very...
That's not
small
what I, that's
storyline.
That's not what I mean.
It was
I mean,
compact.
It felt long and the episode was short.
I felt the opposite.
They got a lot in.
I agree they got a lot in, but I thought it felt short because it was such a small in scope story.
She got real emotional at the end.
Yeah.
She like let out all of her.
Yeah, I don't care that much about Sabine, honestly. I think that's probably why I don't like it that much.
You gave it like an 8, did you?
I didn't like that much.
I did like. I mean, like, why I didn't like it more. I'm getting the eye roll. I'm getting the eye blink again.
I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say.
What's your rating?
8.5. I thought it was pretty good. It was important. You saw the BenView for a second.
A hot second.
And Kanan, like, he gets so frustrated whenever he's training anybody. It's like when he was first training Ezra.
He's very short-tempered.
He is, like, not meant to be a teacher.
Yeah.
At all.
He's
Ezra
more
was
of a mentor.
Ezra was a lot more patient and good with Sabine than Kanan. Kanan just gets really mad really easily.
That's why they had to have, like, Yoda. Yoda could teach all the kids, and then when they're ready to be mentored, he only wants to teach 300 level classes, not this.
That makes sense.
Sword stick fighting 101 class. All right, letters.
Yeah.
We got letters. We got the sacks and sacks of letters.
I don't know which one we left off on. I never remember.
Wouldn't it be crazy if people actually sent in paper letters?
Well, they don't have our address, so that will stop them from doing such a thing.
I know, but wouldn't that be cool?
I'm not big on real mail. So I think
we posted it May 1st. So everything after May 1st or after.
Yeah, so the first one's from Peter.
Yeah. All right, here we go. A few things. I believe I am the youngest of the listeners at age 14, barely. I turned 14 in March, and I am in 8th grade. That was in direct response to a comment that
he sent a letter last,
and we made comment. I muttered under my breath, "How old are you?"
Yeah,
and he's 14. I couldn't believe we had and he writes such good emails.
He does.
He's better spoken than almost all adults that I know. Good job, Peter. Let's see. He's in 8th grade. I like the theory that Luke's line in the trailer was a diversion. It would make going into the movie a lot more exciting. Star Wars Day is coming up. It already passed, buddy. What are you talking about? JK.
Idiot.
I'm working on my Lando costume for the party I am going to. If that doesn't work out, I'll go as Palpatine.
That's so cool. Where are they having these Star Wars parties?
I don't know. I wonder where he lives. He probably lives in Coolville.
They had Star Wars Reads Day at Fond du Lac Park District, or Fond du Lac Library.
Yeah.
People dress up for that.
We almost participated in that twice.
Yeah.
I'm dressing my little sister up as Anakin. Josh is a pile of shiny bantha dung. Phone cases are used for protection, but unlike cars, they are more likely to break. That's why cars cost more than $800.
First off, he's wrong.
Cars don't cost more than $800.
No, not about that. Cars break a lot. Particularly because you're traveling.
Yeah, you can't just drop a car through your
speeds.
fingers and destroy it.
Okay. You could accidentally run into a tree and make it explode.
Yeah, you could sneeze and accidentally jerk the wheel. I've worried about that before.
And so I told him that he has a lack of knowledge.
Oh,
it's not that he's...
Now that he knows he's 14.
Yeah, it's not that you're stupid. You have a lack of knowledge on this topic. When you drive your first POS car and every day a piece of it falls off and then you have to rationalize, is this something that I need to keep or can I throw it away?
I don't know what that has to do with protecting the phone with
it's
the case.
Still the premise of it, you're saying that you need to protect it because it has value, some intrinsic value to you that keeping the case on it will protect. Right?
I think that's what people think.
Right.
I don't like a case. I like it to feel like the phone I bought.
Right.
And I protect it by making sure I hold on to it tightly when I think I might be somewhere where if I dropped it, it would hurt it.
Right.
Because there is nothing more annoying to me than touching the edge of my phone and having it catch because there's a little nick
Little
in the
dent.
metal.
Right.
We're back on this. Jenny can't even handle it. She is
Nothing
dying
more
over there.
annoying.
There isn't.
All right, moving on.
Question. Who would you guys like to see in an anthology movie? I personally would like to see a Nunb movie.
Could it be new people?
It
Could
would
be anything you wanted.
it would probably have to be tied in some way to an existing story.
Well, I want to see Sienna. And
Yeah. That's an acceptable answer.
I think I'm going to have my book club read Lost Stars.
Why? Just so you don't have to actually read something?
There's lots of books I've read. That's not like the only book.
You could
No,
just-
but I mean, you could
just
just go to the discussions and not have to do the homework.
Yeah, and you could have them. You could
It's-
have them.
You could
have
listen
them.
to the
Yeah, you could have
podcast
them read the podcast or listen to the
No,
podcast.
as their
don't.
final assignment.
I'm not going to have them do that. I'm not. We don't do assignments. I don't know
Jenny
what kind
is
of
the
book
worst at
clubs here.
publicizing our podcast. Like she will.
I've told a lot of people at work about it.
Yeah, but you're never like, hey, check it out. You're like,
I've told some people to listen. No, I haven't.
You're gonna
No,
have
I
lots
think
of
that-
things to make fun of me about.
I think that people would actually, like people that aren't Star Wars fans, would
Yeah,
really like that book.
I think
it's
they would
really
too.
good.
But I question.
I was going to listen to it all over again.
our episode.
No,
on it?
the book.
Have you ever listened to one of our podcast episodes?
No,
You should
not in entirety.
listen to like 2, and then listen to like 50, and then listen to like the Rogue One,
Why?
or like just the stuff changes. That's all
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah. The attitude changes. Everything about it's different.
I feel like you're trying to insult me in some way.
What?
It's not about you
No.
specifically.
Yeah, I'm not.
Whatever.
It's
What?
not.
All right.
What do you think?
I don't have to listen to it. I lived it.
We have better mics,
We do definitely have better mics.
and we have theme music. That was a change.
Oh, I forgot we didn't have it at the beginning.
Yeah. In the dark days.
The dark days.
Can
Before
you
the Empire.
finish reading this poor kid's email?
We're reading.
Yeah, we're talking. We're discussing.
You gonna let
You're
me?
talking
You gonna let
about-
me give my anthology desire?
Yeah, go ahead.
Pushy.
Mine's Obi-Wan, without a doubt.
Uh,
It's an easy one, but I want it.
I put Phantom Squadron, but for those who are not fully versed in the EU, that is like Rogue Squadron, but the new name for it. It's the squadron Wedge makes after Return of the Jedi. It's called Phantom Squadron.
In the new canon.
Right. So Rogue Squadron / Phantom Squadron.
Right. Yeah, that would be pretty
How do
dope.
you know about it?
It's in the comic books and it's in the
Oh.
books.
Okay.
Yeah, they talked about it in the Aftermath or the Catech, whatever they are.
Oh, in those
It's in
books.
the Aftermath books. It's in Empire's End.
Yeah, the only thing I don't want in it is Snaps Wexley. He's annoying.
Well, he's
He's
in
in it. Yeah, I know. Okay. A nun movie would be pretty cool. It'd be you'd have to do a lot of reading.
Yeah, a lot of subtitles.
Plot hole I found while watching with a friend. In Force Awakens, Rey translated Chewie's roar. It was Finn's idea to rescue her. If only a few people in the films are able to understand Wookiees, then how could she have learned it if she was isolated on Jakku?
I gave a response.
What do you want to?
I don't think it's unreasonable for Rey to have picked up Shira-Wook, either from spending lots of time studying it or Wookiees passing through Jakku. Because we know travelers passed through Numa Outpost.
There seems to be like an intrinsic ability for Star Wars characters to know multiple languages. Like they understand the droid languages, they understand other aliens' languages better.
Well, when you're sitting in the desert and you have nothing else to do.
Maybe it was in her video game.
Yeah, that's when I like her simulator.
Yeah. Well, I just think in general, like these characters, or all of the universe, the Star Wars universe, people just have a better understanding of language than we do.
Multilingual for sure.
Yeah. As the sun sets on the forest of the junk, the few treasures that are present are hidden within the clutter. A new hero and her dad will set out on a quest to find a treasure unlike any other. From the SWNU crew and starring Jen Van Autreve comes Indiana Jen, the last VHS tape.
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah, he really described your dad's house really well.
Yeah.
That's all the rambling for me, or from me for now.
We named the dog Indiana.
Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a good one. This one's from what was her call sign?
Nebula.
Nebula. Yeah.
I don't have that one.
From Linda?
I didn't see an email from Linda.
She must have just sent it to me. Just kidding. She sent it to the right one.
She sent it everywhere.
This one's from Linda. She says, Star Wars Nerds Unite. She's an official member of Rogue Squadron, in case anybody's curious.
Nerd Squadron. I don't think she's even heard the episode yet.
You don't think so?
She might have said something on Twitter.
She said stuff about it, the call sign.
Yeah.
I don't have an email.
Yeah, she tried to give some excuse about her phone being too full. And I was like, you could stream it. Don't give me that.
It was on May 2nd.
Sorry it's been so long. I've gotten ridiculously behind on Star Wars EU and also had to delete my podcast app for a while due to phone difficulties. I've had drafts to you guys written up, though, but apparently never sent them. I was probably waiting to finish whatever episode I was listening to at the time. It sometimes takes 2 to 3 bus rides to get through an episode. I like the longer episodes with you guys. It just takes me longer to get through. I can't believe you don't all think Kanan and Hera are lovers. I 100% ship it.
I think they are.
I think Tim's right. Oh, gosh. Oh, you have no idea how good that sounds.
He doesn't hear it a lot.
Wait, what do you think? What are you
They
writing
just
about?
don't have time for each other, and the rebellion is a higher priority for them.
You think they are lovers?
Yeah,
I thought they were too. Who thought they weren't?
Josh.
So
You. One
I
of
don't
you.
think that they are an item, I guess is the way
They're
to say
like
it.
in love.
They might be in love, but they're not an
Physical?
item.
I've watched
More
a few
than
more.
that.
I've watched a few more episodes since writing this. I think it's pretty obvious now that they're together. Hera calls Kanan love at one point. Loved listening to you at Steak and Shake the other day. It made me super hungry, especially since apparently there's only one Steak and Shake in my area, and it's pretty hard for me to get to.
You know that the first, I mean, we know. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't either. Where's the first Steak and Shake at?
Was it the one in East Peoria?
No.
I have no idea.
It's in Lincoln, Illinois.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's not far from here.
No, it's not.
Relatively.
Do you remember who the high school driving teacher was? I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Not the sports coach one, the other one that was goofy.
Yeah, the one with the stash.
He taught shop, I think.
Yeah. I don't remember his name.
I don't either. He was my driving instructor.
He was
and
mine too.
Anytime I had to do it on Saturdays during the summer,
Me too.
and we would go to Lincoln most times and eat at Steak and Shake.
You took it at summer
real?
school?
So yeah, it was.
I did.
The class you took during the year, but because my birthday wasn't until the summer, so you got priority based on when your birthday was.
Oh, I took both in the summer.
Yeah.
I had to drive with a kid who had been hit. He was on his bicycle riding through a really hilly cemetery. He got hit and he got serious brain damage. Like,
Who was it?
You can't say his name.
oh yeah, I can't say his name on the air,
Okay.
but he was a very unsafe driver.
Oh yeah.
How could he drive if he had brain damage?
Dude, I don't know why they let him, but he would
I'm not laughing at
slam-
his misfortune.
He would slam on the brakes and
Just randomly.
oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna
That
die.
seems really weird that he wouldn't have some kind of restriction.
He might have a restriction.
He wouldn't even see cars that were coming and pull out, and oh man, and by the time he was through college, I think he'd been in 6 wrecks or something, like an incredible amount.
I remember the other teacher's name, Mr. Probst.
Yeah.
He used to make people go pick up his meat at the meat locker in Eureka. Like they would, my friends they would tell me about, they would have their driving class during the school year. So you had that 1 hour, right? He would make them go drive around and do errands as part of the drive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mine did that too. Now it's super regimented. Nolan knows exactly. He's done now, but he knew exactly where they were going to drive, the exact route, what they were going to work on every week, in advance. But yeah, my guy, my driving instructor would have
let's
us,
go to Walmart.
Yeah, he'd have us run errands.
Mr. It's with something dorky, like
I know.
3 syllables, like link letter or like.
Well, I want to say Bloompot, but Bloompot was a teacher at ICC, not at East Peoria.
I can't remember what it was. It was something.
It's a total. You read it and you're like, that guy teaches shop.
Yep. Okay, here we go. We're almost through. Second letter. There have been some good episodes of Rebels, but overall I'm kind of bored with it. I live for the good episodes, but yeah, I'm over like the filler ones. I want to know what happens to them leading up to Rogue One and A New Hope, how Ezra goes dark, and hopefully more tie-ins with the movies, but that's pretty much it. This show is a lot of filler and fairly uninteresting filler in my opinion. It's okay, but I'm ready for the next show. I had such high hopes after the season 2 finale, but with some exceptions, this season overall has been a bit of a letdown after all. Maybe I'm just bitter because we haven't seen or heard anything from Ahsoka. So I actually mirror a lot of her feelings. Not so much about I'm ready for another show, but I wish the episodes all had bearing, and you're taking the content correctly. So if you just listen to our podcast, you'll take less time to get through. All we do is summarize the episodes now for the most part.
I would say that the episodes that are good are really good.
Yeah, they are.
But the mediocre ones are less good than they have been in the past.
Well, I think we're just getting used to it.
Sure.
It's not as surprising or whatever. So it's not as interesting.
I think now that they know the end, maybe the last season will be a lot more less fillery.
Yeah. All right. I'll go with that. Obi-Wan and Darth Maul's final battle was really cool. Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, super big time spoilers.
Oh my gosh. And the episode tugged about heartstrings, but I wish that...
Okay, stop talking, please. I don't want to hear it.
That's all that was spoilers.
I can't believe you just read that out loud.
I just kept reading.
You've already read this email you said. You've already got it.
Yeah, but I forgot it was in there. You think I remember every single line of every single email?
Well, by some random act of fate, I had not seen that email, and now you just read it and ruined it for me.
It's not that big of a spoiler, considering Obi-Wan...
I started.
You know what Obi-Wan's doing, and you know Darth Maul doesn't exist anymore, so they've been insinuating it for 2-3 years. Like,
I started listening to the Empire Strikes Back episode the other day, and Jen did an A+ job with the synopsis.
Oh, thank you.
How are you guys spending Star Wars Day? How did we spend Star Wars Day?
It was a Thursday, I believe, wasn't it?
We went to work.
I went to work.
I went to work.
I came home and played Mario Kart with Job, and then I went to bed.
Yeah, that was about it. We really didn't do anything exciting.
We didn't do anything exciting.
It was take your child to work day, too.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They had a big to-do at work.
Oh, I had to take a big exam at work. Credentialing exam. That day.
You aced
It was
it.
stressful.
You aced it.
How come you don't take your kids to work?
I didn't know it was take your kids to work day and they have to go to school.
Caterpillar.
So what? That's the whole
They
thing.
always made a big deal out of it.
That you get to take
My
your kid
dad
out of
never
school.
once took me to work.
Why?
He went to
Yeah.
Caterpillar my whole childhood. He never took me to work.
Yeah, my mom could have, but she chose not to. I bet
Then why do you say they made a big deal of it?
because my
Cal?
mom
do.
talked about it.
Oh.
So there was
bring it up,
events.
and she
there
would
was
talk
tons
about
of
how-
events.
She would talk about how other parents took their
I
kid.
saw so-and-so's kid.
Yeah, but she didn't
Yeah,
ever
my
take
dad
me.
never took me to work.
He's
bet-
not a complete screw-up.
I bet she took Jackie. Or I bet he took Jackie.
Probably. He probably still takes Jackie. He probably
This
say,
is my daughter, Jackie.
Jackie,
She's
what'd you do
29.
last week? I went to work with Dad.
Have you told the story about how all the pictures of his
Oh my
kids
God.
are of her?
Well, okay, this wasn't take your kid to work day because it was when Caterpillar had some event and there was like a tour.
Sure, they do that.
yeah,
the
like-
spring picnic or the summer picnic.
Yeah, it was some kind of thing. It wasn't on a normal work day. And my dad brought us in and like it was he had worked there like my entire life. I don't know how I was like at least middle school, maybe high school, but no, I had to be high school by then. And he had worked there my whole life, but I never really seen his desk or anything. And he moved to a few different offices. Anyway, he brings us in and we see his desk. He has like 15 pictures of my sister. You would think that he had an only child. He has 5 kids, and they're all of my sister. It was ridiculous.
How old were you at the time?
I think I was in high school, and when Jackie was in her heyday, it was like 7th to 8th grade. That was like her like time to shine. She was in softball and volleyball and marching band and choir and musical, and she won all these awards and like.
Oh my gosh, she sounds great.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was amazing. So, I think it was around that
Can
time.
I get a picture of her to put on my desk?
Maybe we should see if she wasn't.
Why
on
don't
the
you put that
podcast
picture
sometime.
of her with the computer head on, the internet face?
Huh?
You should-
I don't have any pictures at my desk. All I have at my desk is a Domo-kun plush doll.
Oh God, I remember when I made that picture. That was one of my crowning achievements.
That was the funniest thing you've ever done. I like laughed so much when I saw that.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, that made me feel really good.
it was hilarious.
Someday, if I ever get an office, I'm going to bring lots of Legos in and make my office into a big Lego office.
Like your desk, make out of Legos.
I don't know if I do that. Shelves of Legos.
Are you gonna put a picture up?
No,
The one I did with you and the internet.
I don't have any pictures on my desk.
I'm gonna get you one.
You don't have any like pictures that Job drew or colored.
No, I don't take stuff to work.
Mm.
I'm
My
about to,
desk is gray.
I'm about to show Star Wars to one of my friends for the first time on Thursday, but will only likely have time for the first two, because I may be working a charity event that evening as Rey. I want to cut my hair soon, so I won't be able to be her accurately for much longer. Won't stop me from wearing it to Star Wars premieres. My hair just won't be as accurate anymore. And so I'm excited to at least use the cosplay once for a charity event before I cut it. May the Force be with you, Linda. Yeah, she's got a really good Rey costume.
I don't know how I didn't get that email.
I don't know.
Weird. The next
I'll
one.
read Jesse's.
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, I thought the next one was Jesus.
Nope.
No.
What is happening to all my
I don't know.
emails?
Why do you keep deleting all these people's
I didn't
emails?
delete any.
I think maybe it's weird because you use a different app than we do. You don't use Inbox.
I don't know.
I tried to get her to use it. She wouldn't.
Well,
She hated it.
She's crazy town.
I know.
Things are organized.
You know what you also tried to get me to do? Use Gmail. You
Inbox is
made me
way-
switch to Gmail first.
From Yahoo.
You're right.
Yes, I did.
Well, you act like it's crazy that I use Gmail. You're the one that made me do it.
No, Inbox is a
it's just
layer on top of Gmail.
Right.
It doesn't separate anything though.
Inbox does separate everything.
Yeah, it separates it way better than that.
It separates it by default, and then you can go in there and set rules, and it'll separate it even better.
Well, then he never showed me any of that stuff.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I
I've never even heard of it.
All right,
She got annoyed, and then we quit.
Jesse, here's a question for you folks. I don't know if you've ever discussed it on the podcast, or maybe I'm not at that episode yet, but how heavy do you think a lightsaber is?
Oh yeah, I did get this. Why don't I see it? Because I replied to him and I said this is a question for
You didn't
IC
hit reply
Spidey.
to all.
Yeah, I did not see that reply.
You need to
Yeah.
reply to all.
I said this is a question for IC Spidey.
I bet if you had Inbox, you would have replied to all because it does
It's
that by
the
default.
default, yeah. How heavy do you think
And-
a lightsaber is? It's not how heavy is a lightsaber. How heavy do you think a lightsaber is?
I don't know how to say how many pounds it is.
It's
But-
Compare it,
I don't
compare
think
it to
it's a whole
pints of
pound.
milk.
Pints of
A
milk.
pint's a pound the world around.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like your dad. Your
That's
dad
a
would
thing.
say that. Your dad has totally
Human
said
beings have said that for hundreds of
that.
years.
No, your dad says it. He said it on the canoe trip last year. I remember that.
I have said it for many years.
He's got that sing-songy melodic
Who
voice.
measures milk by pints?
The entire planet.
How many
Specifically
pints is in
America.
a gallon?
There's 16 pints in a gallon? No,
That's
there's,
16.
there's 8 pints in a gallon. There's 2 cups in a pint.
Yeah.
There's 16 cups in a gallon,
Ugh.
I think.
I don't think people usually refer to pints.
It's all imperial. Sorry to all of our listeners in the world that use liters. We don't use liters here, unfortunately. We use stupid things.
Yeah, I'm really bad at metric system, but I have, even since I was a teeny kid, thought we should have switched to metric system a long time ago.
My entire world is in the metric system because
pull the bandwidth date and just switch it. Why do we do it? It's so dumb.
Because the average person
I don't
only
care
knows it.
about the average person. Just switch it and then be done with
The
it.
average people vote.
Okay, anyway. So how many pints is a lightsaber?
That's what I'm asking you.
I think a lightsaber weighs...
You could just be relativistic. You could say it's light, it's heavy,
I think it weighs
like a baseball
10
bat.
ounces.
10 ounces. Less than a pound.
Less than a pint.
5/8 of a pound. It's heavier than that. It has to be heavier than
I really
that.
don't
It's made
think
out of
that-
metal.
I think it's made out of some like aluminum though. I think they're very light.
Even aluminum, if you had a block of aluminum this big, it would weigh more than a pound.
I think you could hold it and it would have some girth
That
to
looks
it.
huge. Why
But I
would a
don't-
lightsaber be that big?
I don't think
Alright.
it's heavy like a gun. Like you pick up a gun.
Guns
and you're
are
like,
made
oh
out
my
of-
gosh, this is super heavy.
Because they're made out of iron.
I think it barely weighs more than your phone with a case on it.
Let me see.
Barely weighs more than a phone? No way. It's heavier than that.
No, feel mine.
Yeah, I feel.
I mean,
her
yours
garbage.
had... Oh my God.
You almost dropped it. Thank God there's a case.
No, it's
I
heavier
think
than
it's.
that.
I think it weighs like a phone with a heavy case. Yeah, this is what I think it feels like.
I think this is a good approximation.
You've got some vice grips that you randomly.
They're not
pulled.
vice grips. They're channel.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think they feel like.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
What? These
It's-
are the same.
Oh my gosh. No way on earth those are the same. This is at least 3 times heavier than your phone.
No.
it's not 3 times.
They're the same.
They're not the same.
It's not, I wish I had my.
Not at all.
I wish I had my scale.
Where's your scale?
It's at work.
Go get my. I have a kitchen scale.
We're not going to get the kitchen scale out.
Why?
To do this. Because
Ready?
we're on our third
Which
email.
is louder?
You
What
can't
does the
use, you can't
sound
use louder.
mean?
Which one was denser?
They had different. They had different surface area. Gosh.
This has a.
You're the
this,
science corner, Josh.
This
Come on.
case is designed
Uh-huh.
to
This is it.
Mitigate
dissipate
sound
the
force.
impact. So it's not going to be
These
as loud.
are just so the listeners at home can go look online what we're talking about here. Let me scratch some of the rust off of these.
Did you get those from my dad's house?
To anyone curious why I have channel locks in my recording studio, we broke part of the microphone one time, and we were having some work done.
3 times. We've broken it 3 times. Because each of the mounting...
We've broken
Things have
3
broken at
different
least once.
microphones.
Yeah, because the
We don't
clips
break
were
the mics.
cheap. Yeah.
We break the mounts for the mic.
So there were workers downstairs in one of the rooms, and I stole a tool, and then that guy got fired by his boss, and I accidentally stole his tool because I forgot it up here because we recorded afterward. So he never got his tool back. I don't.
They're
feel
made
bad.
out of 420 steel.
Whatever. It's not very heavy. It's like
They're pretty heavy.
Maybe
This
2
is
pounds.
Yeah,
I'm
2
gonna
to
weigh
3 pounds.
these. I'm gonna weigh these.
Your phone is not 2 to 3 pounds.
That is not 2 to 3 pounds.
Yes, this is. This is a 2 to 3 pound device. We'll measure it after, and we'll put it in the episode.
This is
title.
1.5 pounds tops.
2 to 3 pounds.
Jenny, you better go get. You better
I'm
go
going to
that
get the
kitchen
scale.
Oh man.
All right, keep going.
Right. I think that's the end of Jesse's email.
No,
It was like, including unique hilts like Dooku or Kylo. How heavy do you think just the hilt is? And then when it's ignited, the ignition adds no weight. Like the blade won't weigh anything.
I never really thought about it ever adding any weight to it. You got to think about how it balances, and I think you're still getting the balance just
You-
from the hilt.
You don't need balance if it's not heavy. The reason that you have balance in a sword is so that when you swing, it has additional force because you're using inertia.
Yeah,
It's the same principle behind why they put weight on the end of a baseball bat.
yeah. But I'm thinking about how it would work because it's really no different than you swinging it without it. I mean, without because it's just light.
I'm not gonna.
Right? Light doesn't weigh anything.
The physics of the real world do not exist in Star Wars, so I have no idea how the physics of Star Wars works. Light does not have weight. Light is not mass. It has no mass. It is energy.
No moss.
Yes, no mass. But this could be Star Wars light, which could have mass. So I don't know. It could be a plasma. Plasma has mass.
What's
It's not
this?
light.
What's this email that Jesse sent in? This other one. He said, first part of the video is a little rocky, but I but let me know what you think of the rest.
I think I accidentally closed that one.
It's the Raylo.
Maybe because I talked to him separate. It broke it out, yeah.
Oh, he didn't reply all, huh?
No, I broke it. As soon as I get the second one, if I don't specifically put it in my SWNU folder, I put it in my conversations folder. Here we go.
We got
Kitchen
the
scale.
scale.
Make sure you tear that baby.
Okay.
So what's your official guess? Well, you said 1.5 pounds.
Okay.
What's your official guess, Tim?
I'm going to go with 2 pounds on the dot.
2.5.
It's not even a pound. I won because
Yes, it
I'm the only
is.
one that didn't go over.
It says it's 12 5/8 ounces.
Josh is calling shenanigans.
357 grams for our international listeners.
Okay.
So a lightsaber would be heavier than that. Slightly heavier, in my opinion.
Here's the phone.
213 grams. 7 ounces. 7
So
and
it's a-
something I can't see.
Like 5
So it's not-
ounce difference between these two.
This is almost twice as heavy.
Oh my god.
Not quite, though. It's really only 40% heavier.
That's it's more than 40%.
So this you said was 3
5
pounds.
over 7.
You said this was 3 pounds.
I said it was between 2 and 3 pounds.
And it's less than 1 pound.
It is. It is less than 1 pound. I'm more than 100%
So you were
off.
wrong by
A scale
over
of
200%.
magnitude of 2. Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to get things
Yeah.
straight. All right.
The Josh is 200% wrong.
Here's a case-less phone.
It's heavier than mine with the case.
No, it's not. It's 172 grams. Yours was 200 and something.
No, mine was 5 something ounces.
No, it was 7 something.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting them mixed up.
Come on.
Yep, mine's 7.5 ounces.
How much is mine?
Oh,
Slightly
you're-
less, 125. Is that what it says?
136
136.
grams. Okay, this is fascinating.
How much is your empty
juice bottle?
Oh, gosh. It's turned into
What would you
measuring
guess,
talk.
Josh? 5 pounds?
26 grams?
15 pounds? Do you ever lift weights and like just guess how
I
much
don't
you
lift
weigh and
weights at
tell
all.
people like you bench
Yeah,
press 400 pounds?
I do not lift weights.
He doesn't have to. He's naturally.
I have the
Naturally beef.
appropriate amount of strength that I need at all times. So that video is a video that explains how Rey and Kylo are going to have a relationship.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
see that. Hey, did you guys notice that we haven't heard from Icy Spidey in a long time?
He sent one like after the break.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah,
Is
but
he
he used
okay?
to say.
Oh, he puts one on Facebook, I think.
Oh, yeah, but it's been a while.
I think maybe he got disenfranchised with us because we took such a break. He got
He
mad.
was like getting ready to move and stuff. Get his own place, I think.
Okay. All right.
So is Ben's email the next one?
Jesus is the one I've got.
Well, the Ben Jesus thing is all one
Yeah.
big intertwining plot,
It's really
right?
funny. The Jen's Revenge, a SWNU story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ben's came
This
in
one?
first.
Well, do you want to do that or do you want to end because it's 10? Because that's a lengthy conversation.
Jen needs this.
I need this.
Then why don't you do it?
Yeah, you read it. Ben Jackson's email.
I will if I can find it.
Ugh.
Okay. I don't know why it's so hard to find my stuff right now.
Because you're not using Inbox.
Okay, here it is. So just to recap,
For those that don't remember.
our previous episode was I was talking about Ben's email about how I was mistaken about there being a Wayne's World MTV special, and then I went on this like like
adventure,
huge
your Hobbit adventure into your
adventure
parents' house.
35
Mission.
minute explanation of
to try to find this VHS tape in my parents' house. And we talked about it for a long time.
Because
Never
her
found
parents
it.
still own VHSs,
Oh yeah, they do.
but do
Lots
not
of
have
them.
a method of playing VHSs.
Who says they don't have VCRs in that house?
Oh, I guarantee they do.
They have 18 televisions.
How many?
You just like open a random cabinet
Oh,
and you're
there's
like,
a TV.
that happened when I was looking for the VHS. This cabinet that was completely blocked by other stuff. I had to move all this stuff out of the way. I opened the door and there's just a TV inside.
Just in case. In case
they-
Emergency TV.
It's like they got a new TV.
Jeopardy was on and they...
No, they got a brand new TV for like their main living area. So they moved and they got a new entertainment center because it was like their first flat screen and everything. So then they moved.
Was this 15 years ago?
No, it was like
last year.
It was a few years. It was just a few years ago.
And they watch more TV. I don't think that TV ever gets shut off. So
No.
I
But they're
can't
not-
believe they didn't upgrade
So
before that.
listen. So anyway, they had to get
It
new
was an old
entertainment center,
CRT.
new entertainment center, and everything. I mean, actually,
how
they get.
did HD like change their world?
I don't even think that they noticed. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's people that like don't even know they're watching HD TV versus standard.
I don't
def.
know how.
I don't either, but there are lots. Most people don't notice.
So it's like they moved their old entertainment center into this spare room because they had to make room for the new stuff, and they just left the old TV in there and closed it all up,
Yeah.
like for spare keeping for later.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
never know.
You never know.
So anyway, so like the next morning or the next day after we put out that podcast, Ben emails, and this is his email. Looks like I got Jen's gander, or whatever that saying is. Maybe Jen's suffering from the Mandela effect, where she remembers a Wayne's World MTV special that was simply a compilation of SNL shows. Okay, I have to go back and listen to see if we brought that up.
Holy moly.
Before
Or-
the episode, we were
Yeah.
talking about this Wayne's World
Yeah,
tape.
because Nolan is obsessed with the Mandela effect.
Nolan, our 15-year-old boy.
And he was telling me while we were looking, I made him help me look for this stupid tape. And while we were looking for it, he's like, maybe that guy's right, Mom. Maybe you're just suffering the Mandela effect. Did you ever think of that? Huh? Mom? And
There
I
must
was
have
like,
been like a Nova episode on the Mandela effect like 3 weeks ago.
Something.
Nolan's been
It's
talking
all-
about it for
anybody-
months.
Oh, geez.
Nolan talks about it all the time. Anyway, so I was like, I read this email and I was like, is he saying this? Because I brought it up on there and I just don't remember talking about it. So I need to re-listen to that episode because that's really weird.
It would
Anyway.
it would be your first episode ever, just to prove yourself right.
Turns out she's right. Didn't think I'd stir up so much trouble. Sorry about that. Stop looking for that tape, Jen. Here's a link to the second MTV special, 1994. Couldn't find the first one. Me neither. Also, look up the Mandela effect. Some cool Star Wars ones like C-3PO's leg and Luke, I am your father. That when I have looked it up because my son won't stop bugging me about it all the time. And I had just read about the C-3PO's leg was silver and all that stuff. So this was really weird. Okay. I didn't know that the clones and the stormtroopers were different. I always assumed they were the same people with new body armor. The lie has been in my head since when I saw them first introduce clones in episode 2 or 1, but never made a connection while watching Rebels between old Rex and the not-so-old stormtroopers in episode 3. But they could have just made a new batch of clones. Jesus said this was explained in a book I don't read, which explains my lack of grammar skills nor knowledge of many Star Wars facts.
Or Wayne's World specials.
I commented
Maybe
that
he was like from a dimension where the clones and
Maybe he's
and the
from the future.
stormtroopers are the same, and we're just all suffering the Mandela effect.
maybe,
Yeah.
collectively.
Yeah.
So Jesus,
Well, I said that if there's no tape, like, this is a failure. I need the tape in our possession and to be able to verify its contents.
I'll keep looking.
oh, okay. So Jesus emailed in afterward the next day. He said yesterday afternoon, somewhere in Texas, It is a time of great distraught. Jen has searched in all the corners of the galaxy for the fabled Wayne's World special to no avail. With all hope lost, Nerd Cinco took it upon himself to seek revenge. Locating Ben Jackson in the deepest corners of Australia, or the cubicle behind me, and after an epic battle, Ben was defeated and brought to justice. Or he finally found the clip and told me that Jen was right. Nerd, Jen's Avenger, Cinco. And then we have images of Jesus crushing Ben Jackson under his van.
His shoe.
Singular van.
His shoe.
His shoe. His van branded shoe. And then we have Ben in his
cubicle
with thumbs up.
With his thumbs up going, hey!
Notice he has a collection of pictures of his children.
I see that. They're not just all of the same girl.
Actually, I think the girl is his wife.
Well, yeah, whatever. They're not all of the same person. There's kids, multiple kids.
And then there's the Wayne's World special on right behind him on the monitor.
Yeah, he's got the Wayne's World special pulled up on his
And just think,
screen.
he would not be enjoying that special if not for you. He wouldn't even know it existed.
It is pretty funny.
So can you identify what that can of drink is? It looks like one of those LaCroix.
LaCroix? I can't tell. It's really blurry.
What is he drinking in that picture?
Is it a Snapple?
I
Do
don't know.
Snapples come in cans?
I think so sometimes.
I have no idea. Looks like a special edition can.
This will
or
teach
something.
all of you, if you ever send a picture, I will overanalyze everything.
What else He's got a mini fridge
I really don't like his keyboard.
and an exercise ball.
It's definitely not a Snapple.
Somebody doesn't even have shoes on. How can you not wear shoes in the office? Completely barefoot.
I would take my shoes off all the time, but I don't wear sandals, so that's why I have socks on when I'm shoeless.
So, yeah, send us more pictures and we'll pick out weird stuff in the background of your photographs.
Please.
Additionally, Matt Cox, he sent us an email with some SWNU decals. He got them all printed out and on his car. He says, well, I finally made the die-cut decals of the logo and stuck that bad boy on my car window. Some free advertising while stuck in Los Angeles traffic. Let me know what you think. If you want a bunch, let me know and I'll make you whatever you want.
They look really cool.
Yeah, they look really cool.
They would be kind of a pain in the butt to install, but they look great once they're installed.
Yeah, they do look really
There's
good.
lots of little pieces that are kind of on their own. He also sent us that picture that we used on Facebook.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for doing that. I was doing a really bad job at posting something for Star Wars Day. It's a good thing we have good fans.
Yeah, we're bad Star Wars fans.
I would love a SWNU decal. Currently, I'm zoomed in on the reflection of Coxtimus
He sent us his own picture before.
right now, judging. Yeah, I think he's a security guard or something. See the
It looks
American
like he
flag.
has
It is an
something
American
on
flag,
that
but there's, like,
says
pins on the
Jurassic
side.
Park.
Yeah, it does look like Jurassic Park.
It is Jurassic Park. It's like a cap or something.
He's a hat guy, remember? He's
But
got your C-3PO.
He's
not
got a
hat.
cap on,
It's something on his shirt.
but it's
Hold on
sideways.
now.
It's sideways. Look.
I gotta open it back
I know,
up.
but it's not on his hat. Now we're hyper analyzing.
Well,
More
now that
pictures.
you've brought up there's a good reflection, I need to look.
There's a really good reflection. He definitely has a hat on, but there's definitely a reflection of his.
So the Jurassic Park thing is the back of his phone. That's his phone case. He's
okay,
rocking
yeah,
a
yeah,
Jurassic
yeah.
Park phone case.
Oh,
Okay, I wonder how much that weighs. What do you think,
It's a pretty
Josh?
big looking phone.
15 pounds.
Either he has giant hands or it's a fairly big phone. Based on the patches on his left shoulder,
that's his right shoulder.
no, it's the right shoulder is the flag, the left
Oh, you're
shoulder
looking
is
at
other
the left.
stuff. Or is that just like the light on folds in the blackness of his
I
shirt?
don't know.
Look at this one. There's another reflection.
It's short sleeves too. Maybe he's a cop.
Well, he lives where avocados grow, so
So
Sounds
maybe
like the
he's-
name of a book.
Maybe he's a security guard for
where
an
the
avocado,
avocados grow.
an avocado farm.
I don't know.
Maybe
like
he's the
front-
avocado police.
What are you guys trying to analyze right now?
We're just hyperanalyzing photographs as if the listeners care, since they can't even see the photograph.
Does that look like a like a Jurassic Park tape? Like a VHS tape?
You think he has a VHS tape around his neck?
No, like the case looks like a VHS tape with Jurassic Park. I don't know.
I didn't even see it. We're done analyzing
No, he
this.
has a big phone case that has like the pocket in it for his credit cards.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Look, you can see it on this part.
That's what I'm looking at.
Oh. Yeah, you can see like his cards are tucked into the pocket and stuff.
But it looks like a 7 Plus. Like, that's what's weird. But it's like super wide. I don't know what it is.
You know what?
Maybe it's like a carnival mirror.
Send us more pictures to overanalyze.
It's making it look bigger.
We're not going to do this on the air anymore.
This is probably so boring.
This is an email from Randall. He's a new emailer. He says, "Hey, Star Wars nerds. This is Randall from Singapore, writing in for the first time. When I first started listening to your podcast, I barely knew a thing about Star Wars, but now, almost 110 episodes in, I'm a little more knowledgeable in the way of Star Wars, thanks to you guys. I have a few questions for you all, like what does Tosh mean? Josh the Tosh Mason." Josh, you want to answer that?
You answer it.
It means absolutely nothing.
It just rhymes.
It rhymed.
Tim likes to take two words that just either
Mean
rhyme
nothing
or
together.
sound kind of similar and mash them together and pretend like it means something.
And that's the way the news goes.
Okay.
Good one. I don't know what that means.
Rick has such good phrases. Like all of the things he says are things that
But they're non sequiturs.
I don't know what you mean.
That's what it is.
What is the new extent of the Star Wars canon?
There's a lot of stuff. It's all the books and comic books that have come out since the Disney acquisition, which was in late 2015.
All the comics.
I said that.
Star
books
Wars.
and comics. And then it's
All the
7
movies.
movies. Now 8 movies, I
Clone
guess.
Wars, Star Wars Rebels.
And that's it.
Son of Dathomir, which came out before.
Yeah.
And some games.
Yeah, in little pieces. They keep introducing little teeny hunks. Let's see. Is there a way to watch the podcast and not only listen to it? I would like to put faces to the voices. If you look at our Twitter feed, at StarWarsNU on Twitter, you should be able to pull up some
Periscope links,
feeds that we had where you could see the video feeds of us.
Someday we might have YouTube videos too. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And why do you all take so long to post a new podcast? Is it because I'm listening on Spotify?
No.
No, it's not. It's because we fail.
We're very busy.
Mostly me. I'm the one that reschedules more than anyone else. We are very busy. We have a lot of things. We have between us, we have 7 children. So we're very busy. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Keep up the good work. May the Force be with you. Also, I don't understand why people hate Jar Jar Binks. Honestly, Misa thought he was the best of the first movie. Please don't judge if you don't agree. Just saying. Anyway, may the Force be with you.
My son loves Jar Jar Binks.
So I think the reason people don't like Jar Jar is because
He was easy to hate
yeah,
in the moment.
He's kind of goofy.
He was like a new character, and he was just easy to blame for the prequels sucking. Or something.
Not everyone thinks they were bad.
I don't think they were bad.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
But it was very childish humor, whereas there wasn't a lot of childish humor in the original trilogy.
Right. Then he sends a third email. Sorry for being disorganized, but I realized, what is the plural of Jedi? Does this mean that the last Jedi is not only one, but both Luke and Rey?
The plural of Jedi is Jedi.
Yep.
But
You don't know which one we're talking about.
there was, you can tell because some foreign languages, you can tell between plurals and non-plurals of Jedi because of how their language is structured. And so, like, it was originally written in Italian as a plural, but then Rian Johnson came out and said it was only one. It's Luke. Luke is the last Jedi.
Oh.
Sorry for being unorganized, but it came to my mind and I had to write this. Anyway, thanks for listening to me rant. May the Force be with you. Thank you for your email, Randall.
Well, it could really mean like that he was the last Jedi, but now he's not, because Kanan was the last Padawan, and he's not anymore. Right?
I don't know what you're trying to articulate with that point?
It doesn't mean that Luke is the only Jedi that will ever be again. It could mean he thought he was the last Jedi, or he was the last Jedi for a long time.
In the story, he is currently the last Jedi.
Yes. But that doesn't mean he will stay the last Jedi.
It means whatever you want to attribute to it. And the word last.
So we have 3 more emails. One of them is from a new writer, and I would love to read the email from him, but it is atomically long. And then his follow-up email is even longer than the first email. So I'm going to give acknowledgement to these 3 people and then tell them that on the next episode we will read their letters for sure. Rob, who is a member of Nerd Squadron. Our new listener, John. He says Red 5.
He wants to be Red 5.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Jesse also sent in another email, which we will... Oh, I guess I could read that one. He came across an article, thought you guys would enjoy it. And it's a link to an article on comicbook.com that has new Star Wars books that are coming out. Which ones got announced?
The big one that I saw is they announced they're going to do Journey to the Last Jedi, similar to how they did Journey to Force Awakens.
Jump down.
So there's going to be a novel that's supposedly the antics are like what Luke did basically in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, but it'll be told like from neutral people in the galaxy, like hearing his exploits was how the article described it. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, Journey to Star Wars The Last Jedi, they're going to have a Phasma book.
I didn't see that. I needed to read that article.
Yeah, they're going to have Leia, Princess of Alderaan by Claudia Gray.
Ooh.
Wait, what was that one?
Leia, Princess of Alderaan.
She's the one that did Bloodline, right?
And Lost Stars.
From a Certain Point of View, 40 stories celebrating 40 years of Star Wars by various authors.
I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, me too. This is another one, Journey to Star Wars, The Last Jedi, The Legends of Luke Skywalker.
That's the one that I read
Kin
about.
Liu. And I think that was the last one.
So I read the first page of that link and then realized it was a...
Yeah, it loaded weird on my phone.
Yeah.
That's why I clicked it when he first sent it, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, on mine it's a slideshow, and I don't read slideshows.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see the sort of slideshow. The one that looks the coolest to me is the Claudia Gray book.
So that'll probably be the best book, but the Luke one's the most interesting to me because we don't know what he did.
All right, so we'll totally read the other 2 emails next time. Thanks for listening. We're everywhere the internet wants us to be. We're everywhere that you want us to be in your heart.
Just not as often as you want us to be in your heart.
Yeah. You should write us letters at starwarsnerdsunite.com. You should rate us and review us everywhere that you can. Tell your friends. Put decals on your car. Put it on your water tower. Star Wars Nerds Unite.
Climb up onto your water tower and tag it.
I forgot to tell Jesus thank you for avenging me. You like sped through that email, but it made me super happy.
Yeah, you don't have any idea, Jesus, how ecstatic she
screamed when I read Ben's email when he was like, I guess Jen's right. I was like, yes!
You would not. She tried to tell Nolan. She tried to tell Nolan about it 3 different times.
Random guy on the internet. Yes. Sweet vindication.
I was like, I was right. I really didn't want to look in the basement for that tape.
Okay. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah. It's good enough for now.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Did Did you hear that? We're doomed.
This podcast is a part of the BenView network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at BenViewNetwork.com.
This podcast is a part of the BenView network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at BenViewNetwork.com.